Welcome, bienvenue to the show. Yeah. It's a show about a show where we show you the shows that we show you on the show. Here we go. Today on the show, we got some great things to talk about. Some of the adventures that we've been through.
Yeah.
On today's segment, I Know a Guy, we're going to talk to somebody named Ashley Blaker. Ashley Blaker is, England's funniest Orthodox Jew, perhaps. He's a producer at the BBC. He's involved in very many funny things. He's a fairly funny guy himself.
I went from a world where pop stars look like this, and this, to a world where they look like this, and this, and this.
After the show, we got to sit down and ask him a bunch of questions. I Know a Guy, Ashley Blaker. The world of comedy and the world of kosher Judaism deserves its own, subset on Reddit. But nowadays, there are people who are really bridging the gap between modern-day edgy comedy or modern-day Jewish comedy. Today, we have an opportunity to meet with somebody who's really identifying the great concepts of frum comedy. But not just for a frum audience or a non-frum audience or a non-Jewish audience, but for an everybody audience. Today, I'm here with Ashley Blaker. He is, I think we would say, Britain's #1 frum comic.
I'm just happy to be here.
Happy to be here. So why are you here?
So we're in New York, and I'm currently got my second show off Broadway. It's called Ashley Blaker Goy Friendly. I've got a show on the BBC called Ashley Blaker's Goyish Guide to Judaism. And my producer, a very nice man called Steve Doherty, who isn't Jewish, and I would often send him scripts, and he would look at them and go, I like this, but could you make this bit a bit more Goy friendly? And so I thought, you know what, I'm stealing that. That's a great title. I love that. That's going to be the name of a show. And so I'm doing a show that is Goy friendly. It's for everyone.
Jews are usually funny.
Jews think they're funny. Jewish audiences are the hardest audience in the world. That's also why I wanted to perform for non-Jews. Because the Jews, they don't laugh. They just sit there thinking, I could have done this. What's so hard about talking into a microphone for 90 minutes? I don't know if Albert Einstein was a synagogue goer, but if he had been, someone would have come up to him at a kiddush and gone, I could have done that. Theory of relativity, what's so hard about that? Jews all think they can, it doesn't matter what it is, I could do it better. People are watching this now thinking, I could have made this video. What's he doing? He's only sitting there not talking, wearing a gold jacket. I could do that.
To bridge the gap between from funny, Jewish funny. You're talking multiple definitions of funny, multiple layers of understanding.
So not only have I got to make it friendly for the Americans, but you got to make it possible to understand if you're not Jewish. So the challenge was to write something that would work for you, Mr. Grew up from in Minnesota, and I don't know where you're from.
Memphis.
Memphis, oh really? I didn't know, okay. Do you know what? Elvis was once a Shabbos goy.
It's a legend.
Yeah, he was a Shabbos goy. I love that. I guess when he left, they just used an Elvis impersonator.
First of all, I think he was a Shabbos goy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Elvis, could you turn on the lights? No more turning on light switches. Elvis has left the building. There's I've got a big 10x10 screen in the show, so it's like projecting images, and sometimes I'll add an extra image that might help it along. So there's all kind of tricks.
The rim shot.
Funny you should talk about that. I talk about rims don't.
John's ears just perked up, by the way.
People think, Jews, like Orthodox Jews, wear the yarmulke. What they don't realize is there's actually a whole level of nuance as to what your yarmulke looks like. So I talk about this whole thing about the rim. There's this world that's like obsessed with the rim around it. And we're more obsessed with rims than Pimp My Ride. I mean, this world is really like, and I show on the screen, this is a skull cap with the rim. This is one without the rim. In the world of Orthodox Judaism, this is highly rebellious. In the 80s, I would like going to shul, and you would see people with the satin yarmulke with what I would call in the UK a football scarf tallis. Yeah, exactly.
Oy vey, oy vey, oy vey, oy vey, oy vey, oy. Give us an example of an explainer that you drop that are pretty cross
Oh,
cultural.
so can't go through like 613 commandments. That's going to be ridiculous. So the 10 commandments is fine. Just 10 commandments. We know they're the important ones. They're the only ones that were turned into a movie, so that kind of makes sense. I went through them, and then they're kind of not really that practical. The 10 commandments don't really get to the essence of Judaism. I thought, you know what? I'll tell you what I'll do. I will update the 10 commandments with my own goy-friendly version, which would not only be a bit more practical, but could also kind of get to the essence a bit more of what it's like to be an Orthodox Jew. So one of them is, thou shalt develop obsessive-compulsive disorder. And I explain in the show how if you don't have OCD before becoming a frum Jew, you will develop it pretty quickly.
It's all about washing the hands, baby, washing the hands.
Everything, it's the level of details. I mean, you know, Christians, before they have a meal, right, you might just go something like, bless us for this food we're about to eat, right? We got to remember a different bracha for every type of food. This is a true story, by the way. My last show, someone's eating some nosh on the front row. So I said, oh, can I have one? So I took one, and then I took it, and I said a bracha. You know, bracha Hashem, l'kenim ha'chalom, she'akol niyeh, you know. And then, this is the best heckle I've ever got, ever. They're Mazonas. You don't get that at the Comedy Cellar.
Hashtag kosher burn. Where can we expect to find you in the future?
My website, ashleyblake.com, or Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, what have you. I always post there.
This is Ashley Blaker. He's talking about things that are from centric to a full centric kind of audience. Thank you for watching the show. It's been Ashley Blaker. We'll be back. Hey, we're still here, we're still hanging out. I got my main man, JUDD. JUDD and I talk a lot about food, and oftentimes we discuss the things that really we grew up with that are just so fundamental to keeping kosher in the United States that we decided to do a whole new segment about it. This is called Kosher Food Hall of Fame. What are the rules of Kosher Food Hall of Fame? Things that we grew up with, things that are iconic, and things that, you know, they can't be replaced. Being Jews in the diaspora, we didn't have kosher bakeries in, like, not everybody's mom was a kosher baker. My entry today in Kosher Food Hall of Fame, I'm talking about the one and only, the big E to the N, the big Entenmann's. So first, the big part of Entenmann's everybody knew growing up. They were impossible to open up. They always had these things on the side, and they had to tear them, and it was always a front tear. But there you go, like open it up. Do you remember tearing apart these
I like
boxes?
to go from the sides, just go.
Well, because you're a donut master. My entry today is going to be the straight chocolate glazed. Another reason that we got the multi-pack. This is the number one song for most people when you talk about the Entenmann's. You can have that one. I think one of the standing rules of why this is so representative of Hall of Fame is because in the 30 years that this has been possibly reformulated and rebuilt, it's still the chocolate glazed Entenmann donuts. There's a certain aspect, there's a certain crisp to the chocolate donut on the bottom. Right here, this has a very specific crisp.
So you got this crumble donut where it's pretty much, it's reminiscent of like a coffee cake style. Entenmann's, they find a way to stay fresh even in random grocery stores all over the country, and it's nice and moist.
Today we're going to talk about Griller's Pride, which is really providing kosher meats across the country, shipping everywhere, but they have a special focus. Griller's Pride in Atlanta, Georgia has a specialty, and that specialty is all sorts of killer sausages of a South African flair. They got other flavors too. This is Griller's Pride, Atlanta, Georgia. If you've grown up in the United States, you're aware that there's a huge industry on just mail order, high-end meats. We're here with Peter. Peter recognized that that couldn't exist in the kosher market also. And Peter has become one of the older mail order meat companies for North America. And what makes him special is that he is also a grandmaster, granddaddy, OG South African sausage maker. He's making the right stuff.
The name of our company is Griller's Pride. Typically, beyond the sausages, the boerewors, etc., which I started the company making, a single product, we've now expanded over the years to include roasts, steaks, veal, lamb, all the different cuts. We ship throughout the country. We ship typically FedEx Ground east of the Mississippi line, and beyond that, FedEx overnight. When we deliver to cities in the southeast like Savannah, Augusta, Columbia, etc., we'll pack the customer's order in here, we'll load it in our van, and off we'll go on a Sunday morning, and we'll deliver to each city. Customers meet us typically at synagogues or JCCs. They'll pick up their order.
Well, this is how kosher meat is distributed to maybe a third of the country.
Absolutely.
This kind of way.
Absolutely.
The butcher drives.
There we go. We cut, we vacuum pack, and we flash freeze. So when the customer gets it, it is 100% wholesome. No odor, no bacteria, nothing. And so as a result, we have a lot of refrigeration in this plant. That is a beautiful product. This product now, which is a lamb shoulder chop, will be flash frozen and ready to be included in a customer's order. So this is where we do all our prepared foods.
How large is your prepared food items menu?
It is extensive. We have probably around 30 products, and everything gets done in this environment. So these will be packed, vacuum packed and frozen. They'll be shipped out.
We're going Jellystone to kick it with Yogi with my family. You know what? I can call this guy up and put my order in bam bam, and it will be there when I land. It's shipped to the house, and it's 30 things in the menu.
Yeah, you cannot imagine how many holiday homes we ship to.
What we're really excited about is Peter is the most important South African style butcher in the country. He is one of the only people that provides a certain set of South African specialties like boerewors, yeah, that's a sausage. There's biltong.
Biltong is an approximation of the South African beef jerky. However, it is infinitely superior to beef jerky. Biltong is a dried and cured product, whereas American beef jerky is a cooked and smoked product. It dries as a slab of meat. It's flavored with coriander and pepper, and just a great flavor. This is what we all grew up on in South Africa. So it's really a delicacy.
The texture on biltong is important. It's important. You have to know that it's fully cured, and you can tell that by that precise texture. You're looking for a savory, deep meatiness. And there's a salty, but not too salty, and a slight vinegar, black pepper, coriander. You know what you'd say? You'd say baie lekker. You know what baie lekker means? Baie lekker means like
very good.
Super good. Yeah.
Very good. We do not sell to supermarkets. We compete with supermarkets. So we sell directly to the public. Most of our customers will put in their order over our website, and then they'll call in to get specific requirements met as to what they want. So we form a relationship, with each of our customers.
Peter, king of the kosher South African meat. Today's trivia. Trivia. Last week's trivia question, what is a catchphrase? We have a lot of them. I know a guy is a good one. A couple guys have that one. Bang and dank.
I'm done for the day.
Ask your own rabbi. I'm checking out. I don't want to eat anymore. Trash bear.
Yeah.
Today's trivia question, you want to talk about it? Today's trivia question?
Let's do it. What is my go-to item on a Chinese restaurant?
Oh, I know this one.
They have to get it.
I know, but this is an easy one. You know what? It's just as easy as saying goodbye. Comment on the bottom anywhere you want, emails, I don't know, tell people, send a telegram. There's a bajillion ways to get in touch with us. Tell your friends, like and share. Thanks for watching. Show.